Hello, and this time I've been sent in a proof question, so thank you for that. Now these are tricky because there's a lot of different ways that you have to tackle a proof question. It's always good if they say prove by, like contradiction or something like that, and they tell you how to do it, but in this case nothing. A very standard way of dealing with a proof question like this is to, in this case we've just got some algebra to prove that it either is or isn't something, in this case that it's not divisible by 8. And usually the way that you're going to do this is you've got to show it for all types of numbers. And what type of number we're going to put in here, it is n. So what you do is you split it into the even numbers and the odd numbers. And the reason we do this is because if we can prove that it works, or in this case doesn't work for evens, and also not for odds, then we've covered everything. Especially because in this case, it's got to be not just a whole number, but a positive whole number. These are the natural numbers, so there's no negatives allowed. So that can't get in the way. So if we can prove it for even and odd, then we're laughing. And the way we do that is we make n an even number. So if we have n being a function of something else, so let's say k, and whatever k is, we're going to double it. So k can be any number in the world, whole number, natural number like this, and then you double it, well, it has to be even. Odds are going to become even, evens stay even. And if we then substitute this in and show that it works for k, then it works for the n as well. So any even value of n, when n is 2k, we're going to have 2k cubed plus 2, and we expand that and we get 8k cubed plus 2. Now we're not finished here. A lot of people stop there, but you mustn't. You need to write some prose down. You need to say, oh, well, 8k cubed is divisible by 8. Therefore, when you add 2, then it isn't, blah, blah, blah. You write that out. Then we need to do the same for the odd. And we can make n an odd number easily enough by making it even again and then adding 1. So odd numbers become even, then become odd again, and even numbers stay even and then become odd again. So for any value of k, you know that whatever you put in here, whatever n becomes, it will be an odd number. And we can get all of the odd numbers doing this. Therefore, it's fine to put this in. Now this side's a bit trickier because this is going to be a binomial expansion. You could, sorry, got to pay attention to what I'm doing there, plus 2. You could just expand the brackets, just write out the brackets and do it as a crab claw double bracket expansion or FOIL and then times by another bracket. But I'm going to do it by binomial. So the first thing is going to be cubed. So that's 8k cubed. The last thing gets cubed, so that's still 1. We've still got the plus 2 at the end. Then we're going to have 3 lots, so 3 times this squared times 1. So that's going to be 4k squared. Didn't leave myself enough space, never mind. And then we're going to have also 3 lots of this squared times that. So that's easy, it's just 2k. So what's this? This is 8k cubed plus 12k squared plus 6k plus 3. Now, the first thing when I look at this, I'm thinking, well, how do I know? Because, okay, that's a multiple of 8, but then what if that's a certain number and that's certain? Then I've realized how silly I am. All of this has to be even because all the coefficients are even. So no matter what k is, this bit is even, and even plus 3 makes it odd again. And if this is an odd number, well, then it can't be divisible by 8. But I have to write all that down. So I need to say, the algebra in the bracket, or all the coefficients of k, however you do it, are even. Therefore, that value is even, but you're adding 3 at the end, which makes it odd again. And an odd number can't be divisible by 8. You've got to say that bit at the end. You can't just say, this number is odd. Yeah, we all can tell that that's, but you have to finish the logic. You have to say, and you can't have an odd number divisible by 8 to make sure you fill the whole thing in. Now, sometimes I've seen a lot in recent exams, this is almost certainly a first year or an AS level question. But in the A level, you often get questions where it's more complicated, and it might be that you've got, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, something like n plus 2 and m plus 3 or something like that, and you need to check odds and evens or something like this. Be careful that you don't make these the same. You can't make this 2k and make that 2k, because that's saying they're going to be the same number. So if you're going to do that, you need to make that 2k and this to, I don't know, q or something, a different number if you're doing it with two values. If you find a question like that where there's two variables in your proof, feel free to send that over or write out a question in the comments, and I can explain that. But just be really careful that this was fine because it only had one variable, so we only had to do it once. But if it's got two, don't use the same variable for both of them. That's how they catch you out. Anyway, I'm now just rambling on, so I'm going to stop there. But if there's anything there that doesn't make sense or if I've gone wrong, then pop it into the comments. I notice a few people like to say that they got in first with the comment. That's always pleasant to see. But if you've actually listened to the whole video and you've reached the end, then put the word pigeon, which is spelled like that, not with a D, piggy on. Put pigeon into the comments, and then not only will everyone know that you got there first, but they'll know that you actually listened to the whole video. So, ta-ra for now.